What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Pedal Down 4x4, and on today's video we are going to start cutting up the fender well of the 4Runner. Let's get into it. Alright, you guys, so welcome back to Pedal Down 4x4. I did put in the tail lights for the 4Runner. I didn't think that was really worth watching. I just put them in. I ended up not even pulling out the drawer system. I just pulled back the plastic and I was able to get to the plug, which I then put in the tail lights. I think they do look really well, especially with the color we are going to paint the 4Runner after we are done with all the body work, even though most of it is done. On today's episode, we need to cut out the fenders. Now, this fender flare sits up about a good 1.5 inches now over what it used to be. So we need to make the clearance for that. So we need to cut that out and we're going to bend the tabs up. But I did not clean the 4Runner before I did all of this stuff. So there is a bunch of mud and dirt and rocks stuck in there from the last time we've gone wheeling. So this is going to be a fun one. But yeah, we will have to pull off the guards. So we're going to have to pull off this wide body and the front as well. And then, or we might not need to. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll definitely need to pull off this back one right here. But let me show you guys the dirt because this is going to be a fun one. There's going to be crap all over the floor. All right, let's take a look and I'll show you guys what I mean. So as you guys can see that this new guard actually it covers a good chunk or goes higher than what it used to be at. So we need to cut this out because this will look really goofy, and we're also going to impede on any flex that we have. The tire will run up into this. So we need to actually cut this. Now you guys can kind of see what I was talking about here. There's a bunch of dirt and stuff in here. Oh, my camera work is real shoddy, but there's a bunch of dirt and stuff in there. So what I'm thinking what we're gonna do is I think we're just gonna cut slits into this and try and bend them in. There is an inner liner on this thing, so I guess we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we have to chop all this off. If not, then I might just go ahead and just do a straight cut along this line. I think we're gonna do that and then we'll figure it out. We're probably gonna just use a bunch of seam sealer to cover it. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pull both sides off. Oh, and that means the door handle's gonna have to come out too. All right, let's get it done. Okay, so I just realized I could just open the door, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, this is the line that we're gonna cut up on. I can kind of see the inner part of the fender. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this outer section out and then I guess bend it and see what it's like. I haven't had to do this before. I know there are people who do notches and they bend it in, which I'm assuming that's probably gonna be the better idea, but we're just gonna give her a whirl and just try and bend this thing in, I guess. I guess we'll just cut along this line and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah, we're gonna have to chop off all this too to get more clearance for the tire. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a bit of a time lapse and we're gonna start cutting. All right, so I got the outer skin off right here. You guys can kind of see that. Now, this part's all rusty, so I'm going to just chop this off and seam sealer it. But there's this other section, so there's this inner piece of steel right here. You guys can kind of see that goes all the way around. I can't get the grinder in there, so I'm going to take a smaller disc and try to get into here. My plan is to cut slits in this all the way around, bend them up towards the body, and then give them tack welds on each slit, and then seam sealer the whole thing. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's the way I'm going to do it, and I think it'll work. I don't see why it wouldn't work. So yeah, I'm going to just start cutting a bunch of slits in here. I'm going to chop this bit off right here. That's like the last section that needs to get cut. And then that section down there will get completely cut off. Now, if you guys do care about your guys' car, don't do this with the door open. There's sparks going everywhere in the cab. I'm going to have to do the deep clean of this cab later on, but I really don't care. So yeah, advisory, don't do this with your door open if you care about your car. I don't. So let's get it done. Let me get a little disc, cut this bit off, and then we'll start cutting and bending and doing all that good stuff. And then we should have clearance for our tire, our 35, and hopefully when we go up to 37s, hopefully we should have enough clearance for that. Okay, so if you guys look at it now, you can see the outer skin is cut away, right, on the entire thing. And then the inner skin is cut into slits. And the reason why I cut them into slits is so I can now take them and bend them up like this. And what so I can bend them up like this. The reason why I'm doing that is so I can tack weld each one, cut off all the excess, and then I won't have a bunch of crap, or I'll have less amount of stuff going into the guard. And I'm gonna seam sealer it, obviously. So I'm going to bend each one of these tabs up. Honestly, probably not even with the pliers. I'm going to use a hammer. Make it a little easier, make it tight to the body, and then we can tack weld each one, and then we can cut off the excess. It's like 400 degrees right now. It's pretty hot, but it's all right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so new change of plans. I am going to cut the excess off now and then bend all the tips up more, but I think this is going to work fine. I don't know why it wouldn't. I mean, it's working kind of how I want it, or how I kind of foresee this little project going. So let's get the grinder out. Let's cut off all the excess. I need to make all these flat again. Okay, so You can see I cut off all the excess bits. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go full farmer mode and I'm going to weld this bitch right through the paint. I am too damn lazy to do this the proper way. So I'm going to bend each one up, give it a good little tack, move on to the next one, move on to the next one, move on to the next one. Keeping in mind not to try and bend the body. I'm going to keep going all the way down. Once we're done with that, then we're going to go ahead with the grinder, grind it flat. And then we're going to go to the store, pick up some. Oh, actually, I'm going to paint this part first so it doesn't rust any more than it already is. And then we're going to get some of the body seam sealer, and we're going to seam seal this whole thing. So hopefully no leaks or intrusion of mud and dirt. So yeah, time for the time lapse. All right, you guys. So complete change of plans when doing the quarter. Do not do what I did with the welder. That is a terrible, terrible decision. I have a better solution, and let me show you guys. So, as you can see, we have all the clearance in the world. You can see where all the welding dust went or whatever. Now, what I did was I cut larger slits in the metal on the inner panel, and I just pounded them in. And I worked it all along the entire edge here. So it's all inside here now. So now you can't even tell. Now we're gonna throw some paint on here, and then we're gonna do a little bit of seam sealer action. But you guys can see right now that it's like we have all the clearance in the world now for any larger tires that we do go with. Okay, so this is the only paint that I do have, which is just galvanizing compound for like fence posts. And we're just gonna send their cousin. We're just gonna spray this stuff in here. Okay, so now that we have sprayed all of that galvanizing compound on the 4Runner, she's pretty much well coated in there. She shouldn't rust. Oh geez, good grief. I'm sorry for the bad camera work. I do apologize, but yeah. So that's all of it in there, all that galvanizing compound. Now we need to let this sit and dry for a bit. I'm gonna run to the store and I'm gonna go pick up some seam sealer, and then we can seal this whole thing up in the 4Runner, and then we should be good. This side is cut. Definitely not the best cut in the world, but I mean, it'll do, donkey. It'll do. All right, you guys. So I am back from O'Reilly's, and I picked up this guy. So this is seam sealer. This one is black, which is perfect. I also bought some more roll chassis paint because I was out, ran out of that stuff. So how to use this stuff. Where is my stand? Give me a second here. For seam sealer, you're gonna need one of these applicator gun things. You can buy that at Home Depot for like $5 or $6. This is the seam sealer right here on your little tool that you buy. Usually on the handle somewhere, it has some sort of metal rod. You're gonna take that rod out. You're gonna ram it onto the seam sealer here. That's gonna puncture it. really well. Do that a couple times. And then you have your little seam sealer nozzle. You're going to then attach that like this. Now, for myself, can this camera... There we go. So for myself, when it comes to using this kind of stuff, I tend to cut the tip. I want to make the tip a little bit wider. So I usually cut it like maybe around there. Something like that. And then I think I will cut a... Actually, no, I'm not going to. So take a gun, take your little gun thing, slap that in, locks into place. There we go. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute. There we go. There we go. And now you're going to be able to see some seam sealer will come out. I'm doing it. Oh, there it is. So you can see some of that seam sealer coming out. So we're going to spread the crap out of it on top of the 4Runner. I'm going to flip the camera around and we are going to do this. Time to absolutely butcher the 4Runner. Hell yeah, brother. Let's get it. Okay, so we're just going to come in here with the seam sealer here, and we're just going to cover all the seams. And that's exactly what it does. It covers all the seams. So I bought 2 tubes, one for one side, one for the other. I might need actually more than that. The other side I might need less, just because obviously I learned on this one panel here. And we're just gonna go all the way around, make sure to get every single gap. And then I like to go with like a Bondo knife, is that what it's called? And really spread it all in there. All that good seam sealer goodness. And I guess I can start doing that now. Let me just get some more in here. Oh Lord, oh no, it's gonna fall. Yeah, I think I'm gonna get the Bondo knife. Oh gee, oh Lord. All right, let me get the Bondo knife out. All right, so this is like a Bondo applicator thingamajig. We're gonna use this to kind of swipe it all in there. I really want to get an even coat of this stuff on. Oh geez, this is a... If you didn't know, this is kind of a messy job. Or I'm just bad at this, which is definitely something. Oh geez. Oh yeah. Oh. All right. Let me just get a little more. Okay, so I'm gonna get a glove on real quick. That's pretty well introduced to it. I can show you guys here. You can kind of see that it's just smothered all in there. So now I need to do this top section up here. I'm probably gonna put it on the applicator pad, or this applicator, and then just smush it in there. And then I'll show you guys what it finally looks like with the final product after I'm done with this. All right, you guys. So I am back from seam sealing the crap out of this thing. It doesn't look as like really great because it has all these little... I am terrible with this camera, but I just seam sealed all this stuff in there. Don't mind that stuff up there. That's me missing it. It's seam sealing inside there. That's the main section. You can see the seam sealer all the way down there. So all the gaps are now covered. Now this needs to dry a bit, and I'm gonna spray. I bought some more chassis paint, so I'm gonna spray all this. I'm gonna take out all these little stringy bits. You can see that stringy bit right there, just dangling in the wind. But that is pretty much it on cutting out the rear quarter. I need to do the other side still, but I will do that off camera. All right, you guys, so that is basically going to be it for this week's episode of Pedal Down 4x4. We have cut out the rear tub of the 4Runner, not the tub, but the extra bit on the where the guard is. So now it is completely level with the guard, and we should have no issues with fitting these tires and stuffing them in there now. We cut them out, we peeled them over, and then we have seam sealed it. We still need to do the paint, so we'll do the roll bar chassis paint. I have it in the background. But we'll paint all that stuff when it does dry. I have to pick off all the little dangly bits of seam sealer. It is a messy job. Wear gloves and you do it. But that's pretty much it. If you did not notice, we took off the roof rack a little while ago. I think it was last episode. I didn't say it, but the roof rack was already off. Did that because we need to do some body work up on the top and get it ready for paint and primer, or primer and paint. Tail lights are in, so those are good. I don't even know if they work. I never even plugged the battery in. The battery's still dead. So yeah, that's cool. But that's basically it for the long travel stuff. That's the rest of the cutting. There's no other cutting that I need to do. Next week's episode, I'll probably get into doing some of the body work on this back hatch. There are a couple bits that I want to address, and we'll address it then, I guess. But there's not many more videos, I think. I'm thinking, I guess I'll show you guys some of the bodywork stuff, some of the primer stuff, some of the paint stuff. We are painting it with Raptor liner, so it's fairly easy to do, but I'll probably film it for you guys if you want to attempt it yourself. There's not much else. We do need to address the rear link situation because the bushings are shot and they're from China and I don't know what size the bushings are and I'm too lazy to go measure it. So I think I might just buy new links. They're like 200 bucks. But yeah, that's basically it on this week's episode. So I'm not sure what's next week's episode. I guess you'll have to wait till next week to find out. But till next time, and as always, thanks for watching. There's also one last bit that I wanted to ask you guys. I had a little bit of an issue with the DJI mic, and I think it's my voice. I don't know if my voice is just annoying, but like the frequency of my voice messes with the mic. So I upped the gain on it +3. I've been having to up the gain on the videos like +12 because of the way my voice is, I guess. It's not like my voice is deep, but I guess it's just the frequency my voice is at. For me to make the video sound normal, I'd have to talk like this. I'm not talking like that, so I'm talking normal. This is my voice, so let me know, does it sound better in this video? I just modified it, or I just upped the gain on the mic, so let me know if it sounds a little better. But yeah, anyway, that's a little bit of a snippet. Thanks for watching. Bye.